Hello everyone, and welcome back to Lylat Wars on the Nintendo 64. I'm one Welsh sheep yet again, and now it's time to enter Solar.
That area's an oven. Don't go burning that R-wing. Be reasonable, Fox.
I'll be careful.
Good luck.
Keep an eye on your shield gauge. The R-wing might not make...
This baby can take temperatures up to 9,000 degrees.
Insert Dragon Ball Z joke here. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Solar. Basically, the red sun of the Lylat system. And, of course, this isn't the Solar system, so this isn't the same Solar as we currently have in our system. You know, this isn't the sun, ladies and gentlemen. But one thing that's kind of handy about this mission is because we come off of the... Oh, what the hell's the name of the world called? I forgot already. It was in the previous part. Because we came from the Independence Day level and came here, Bill will actually help us out by shooting off some of the rocks and whatnot, which will gain access to a bunch of rings that will float about in the sky, which, by the way, is very, very bloody handy in this mission, because obviously this mission's gimmick is the fact that, oh, is lava. We're on a sun. The sun is hot. The closer we get to the surface, the more our health will basically deplete, you know, ladies and gentlemen. So you're going to have to spend the entire mission basically just flying about, shooting as many rocks as you see possible in the sky to get as many rings as possible to stay alive, you know, ladies and gentlemen. And from time to time, you'll actually come across glowing, flashing rocks. Whenever you shoot these flashing rocks, instead of just getting a standard silver ring or something like that, you'll actually get hold of one of your golden rings. So every flashing rock you see, go after it. For the love of God, go after it. Because it's basically free extra lives and free extra health boosts, you know, ladies and gentlemen, which is all pretty damn dope, I'll tell you that much. Slippy, why are you so close to the lava? Fly up, for Christ's sake, you crazy-ass toad. Oi, I don't understand Slippy the Frog. He's mad. He's literally mad. But one of the things that is good about this stage is is really one of those levels that's really good for basically collecting supplies, because you get loads, and I mean loads of bombs, loads of health. Basically your supplies are going to be filled right up when you play through the stage. And of course, if you have, I believe you can only get this if you have Bill, but you can also gain access to laser power-ups and stuff as well, like, which is handy if you're like me and you're a pleb and you lose your wing at a previous mission. But I digress. Oh, sometimes the rocks should drop lasers as well, so that's a plus. But you know, it's a pretty fun ride. I definitely enjoy this one. Although back when I was a young lad, when I was a wee lad, I hated the stage. For the love of God, I hated the stage, because my brain couldn't comprehend the whole, I have to fly higher, you know? So I tend to die a lot during this one.
This is the enemy's bioweapon? Andross is an insane fool.
You can say that again. Jeez. Ah, my face! But this is also the first stage you're probably going to come across the star health rings, and they basically refill a hell of a lot of health, basically. But anyway, this is Andross's bioweapon. Basically, first thing you want to do is shoot off its arms. Once you shoot off its arms, then you'll be able to feel free to shoot it in the head. And honestly, this boss has more bark than bite. It's really not a difficult boss fight in the slightest. It's just extremely intimidating. From time to time, he's going to shoot fire waves at you using his arms. So just pay attention to what the boss fight is doing himself. But, you know, for the most part, you should not have any trouble dealing with this, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Just keep mashing the button until he goes down. Of course, whenever you do destroy both of his arms and you go to attack his head, he will start spinning about like a madman, sending his I'm assuming it's blood. It looks really weird. But he'll send his blood out to hit you, and if those blood orbs hit you, then it hurts a hell of a lot. But, yeah, victory is ours after mashing the button a million times. Hell to the yeah!
All aircraft report.
I'm fine, I'm fine.
I've taken a few hits, but I'm okay. Ah, you're getting better, Fox.
Was that a literal, real compliment of Falco? I should feel honoured, because Falco's a dick. He never compliments me. But I digress. There's that level over and done with, ladies and gentlemen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to move on to the second water-themed level of the game, which thankfully doesn't have the Blue Marine. This is more of a traditional Star Fox level, which makes me very happy. Hoi. I hate the Blue Marine.
There's an enemy base there?
Affirmative, General.
How does the General not know there's an enemy base here? What? You'd think that he would know. I mean, he is a higher up person. I mean, the Star Fox squad are literally just a group of mercenaries, you know. How do we know this information when he doesn't? But I digress. Anyway, technically this is a sneaky stealth mission. Well, as close to a stealth mission as Star Fox can get anyway, where we basically need to sneak into the enemy base in order to obliterate the boss fight that lies inside. And how are we going to sneak in on this type of level, you might wonder? Well, as we progress through the course of the stage, you're going to see all these searchlights from point to point, and all we really need to do is destroy the searchlights before we get past them. If we fail to destroy a searchlight before we get past them, the mission will not be accomplished, and as a result, we'll be put down to a lower route on the difficulty, you know, ladies and gentlemen. But, you know, in general, I actually really do love this stage. I really do love the soundtrack that comes from it. It's a pretty damn dope one, I will tell you that much. And, if you don't know what you're doing, the stage can probably give you quite a bit of trouble, because there's loads of fish and fish-like enemies that'll jump out of the ocean to bip you. You'll have Slippy being a pleb, not realizing, hey, you can use a somersault to not get chased, but, yeah, the stage may give you some trouble your first time through. That's mainly what I'm getting at you, folks, you know.
We're closing in on them, Falco. Take the right leg forward. I hit the left.
Cat, what are you doing here?
Is that any way to greet a girl?
Yeah, treat her with respect. She just helped us out. Yeah, if you come into this mission from the hard route, then Cat will pop in and help you. Will help us out. And I'm actually not sure if Cat was in Star Fox 2 at all or not. Like, I'm pretty sure that Bill from one of the earlier missions wasn't in Star Fox 2 either. He was an original character for this game, but no, I like the fact there's loads of world building and the fact that all the characters actually have relationships with other people that happens off screen and what. And you know, I don't know. It's just neat. You know, they could have easily gone away with just having random. Well, they could have gone away with not having the cat or anyone fly around and help. You know, it's just a nice little bit of world building, basically. And these missions are more than completable without having Cat or Bill show up as well, because, well, they have to be, because you can get to these missions from different routes where they won't show up, you know, ladies and gentlemen. But I digress. Anyway, from time to time in this mission, you will come across these weird gate things, and there's little propellers on the left and right hand side of the gates. Whenever you come across these, you're basically going to want to shoot the propellers to shoot, you know, to open the gate up so you can shoot through or fly through, and you just need to keep an eye out for the searchlights and whatnot that could potentially be behind the gates, because otherwise, you know, you may miss the searchlight and you may get a mission failed as a result of that, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Although actually, I did say that you get cat if you go here from the hard path. I'm not sure if you can get here from the easy path. I mean, medium path even. And if you can, I'm not actually sure if cat does or doesn't show up. It's been a long time since I've attempted to do that in this game, but I know for a fact cat will show up if you go here from the hard path anyway. That I know that for a fact at least. Why do I know that for a fact? That's how I recorded this video. Oh no, Slippy, don't you do something. What's he up to? I don't trust him. Okay. Well, actually, if you successfully perform that maneuver with Slippy, I do believe you can actually get like an extra life. But I think I might have fluffed it up at the end, unless I'm thinking about another point in the game, because there are some times in the game where the characters will fly off and do their own thing, and if you follow them, then you will get bonuses and what have you, which, you know, it's neat, and it's not something you'll ever probably find out properly your first playthrough, but, you know, as you progress through the game, you'll learn about all these little hidden things. Like, as you play the game more and more and more and more, basically more things become apparent to you that you wouldn't have known before, and I appreciate that, you know? And it's not like it's anything game-changing, you know? It's only something like, oh, if you do this, you get an extra power-up. It's only small changes like that will happen, which I appreciate. It means people who are playing it for the first time around aren't gypped, you know, ladies and gentlemen. And also, if you help Falco just before this point as well, he does shoot out one of the lights for you as well, which is, you know, something I appreciate.
Louise, what is that?
Those would be oil drums, Falco. It might be a trap. Might be. Okay, Pappy.
Disrespectful little whelp! I'll keep you some respect.
Oh, great. We're fighting a bloody pirate cosplayer. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, ha 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 ha. But anyway, for this boss fight by here against the pirate cosplayer, what we need to do for the beginning is we need to shoot off the 2 ventilation ports on the top of his machine. Otherwise, he will actually heal up the more and more you get through the fight. I'm being an idiot right now, and I actually forgot about destroying the ventilation shafts, but basically destroy the vents so he can't go underwater and he can't heal up, basically. That's the main thing you're going to want to do for the most part, ladies and gentlemen. But this is one of the most slower boss battles to do, especially if you don't figure out the pattern. I mean, the pattern's easy enough, you know, it's just a matter of throwing your bombs at him. Of course, this was one of the boss fights. This is one of the boss fights in this game that you can't beat just by shooting with your lasers. You do need bombs in order to damage this guy. But what is fortunate is you can shoot out the bombs that he shoots at you to collect more bombs for yourself to shoot at him, which is something I greatly appreciate. Well, I say I greatly appreciate it. It would be flat out bad game design if he didn't give you a method to be able to shoot him down, you know? I mean, it would be smart on the boss fight half, but, you know, on Nintendo's half, that would have been bad game design, so... You know, it's a good thing they give you bombs, because otherwise this boss fight would literally be impossible. Thank you, Pappy. So yeah, I was basically playing like an absolute dweeb, but if you do sit around for too long, then Pappy will just say, "Oi, stupid! Well, you stupid, do this!" And I appreciate that. But yeah, basically shoot out the 2 exhaust ports, and then shoot out one of his main turret cannons, and you can move on from there. Now, whenever you do destroy both his exhaust ports and his main exhaust cannon things, basically what will happen is he'll have a giant crane that pops out as well, which will also attempt to re-heal him up. But that's easily taken out using your bombs as well. So, you know, it's a very easy boss fight, especially when you figure it out. But it can take a couple of attempts, you know, ladies and gentlemen. So when he's dropping the crane, just go to town. Just blow the bad boy up like mad. What can I tell you? Although I will say this is one of the... Even if you get the pattern down packed, this is still probably one of the slower bosses in the game, I would probably say, you know, just to complete fully, because it's very methodical in how you beat him. But once you get to the final phase, he just goes bloody berserk, and as a result, you should go bloody berserk. Lay the beat down, and he is down and out. Well, he's playing the pirate's theme to a T. Even dies with a pirate theme. You know, you gotta give a hand to his persistence. I would have come out of character by now.
All aircraft report.
I'm having some trouble here.
Everything's A-okay. Cat, where'd you go?
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry, Falco. I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing that cat again in the future. But until then, it's time to head on to a brand new level type, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to enter the Landmaster stages. And this next stage we are going to, we want to normally we can't get to the stage unless we lose in Sector X, but if you do succeed in Sector X, then you can actually change the course through the menus, which I appreciate, so yeah.
What are you doing? It's too dangerous there.
I can't leave Slippy hanging.
If you're wondering what the hell he's on about, basically Slippy got hit if you failed the last mission and he's sent to this planet. That's basically what happened.
Deploy the Landmaster.
And there you go, welcome to Titania, and we are utilizing the Landmaster here, and the Landmaster is basically the Star Fox team tank, which is very, very awkward to use. It takes a little bit of getting used to because it still controls pretty much identical to how the R-Wings themselves control, but the thing is you're ground-based now, so you can't actually fly in. You're not as free to move, and it can take a little bit of getting used to. And by default, your aiming reticle will always be up in the air slightly, so if you want to shoot directly in front of you on the ground, you have to hold up, and it takes a little bit of getting used to, but you know, it's not too bad. Although, ironically, even though this is on the easy path of the game, I actually find this to be the hardest Landmaster mission in the whole game. And you do have to be careful as well, because there are mines and what have you littered about. But fortunately, you can still do barrel rolls, you can still do all those handy maneuvers, except the barrel rolls, whenever you are in the Landmaster, they don't actually deflect any enemy shots. They're used as a quick way to go to the left and to the right to dodge enemy shots instead, which can potentially throw people for a loop, but you know, it's not too bad. What can I tell you? And later throughout the course of the stage as well, you'll find all these bombs lying about, and if you get clipped by the bomb, then expect a massive, and I mean massive, drop in health. So what you're going to want to do is basically shoot the bomb before you get close to it. Otherwise, yeah, well, good luck. And if you're in dire need of any health as well, just shoot the basic foliage of the world, and health rings will pop out, which I do appreciate.
I'm on your side.
Sorry, Falco, it's not my fault. If you zoom right into my field of view like that, I'm gonna shoot you. Like, my mentality in Star Fox is, I see something, it's going to die. I'm gonna aim at it, you know? So it's entirely your own fault, Falco. I mean, I could potentially look where I'm aiming, but no, I'm not gonna do that. What, are you stupid? But I digress. But again, like I said, this is a stage I like it, but I also don't like it at the same time, because it does take a lot of getting used to, and this is the hardest Landmaster stage in the whole game, and I think a lot of the problem is because you're also dealing with a lot of uneven ground, like there's loads of hills to deal with, and it just takes a lot of getting used to. That's mainly the big problem with this, you know, ladies and gentlemen, and this used to be when I used to rent the game many years ago. This used to be the point of the game where I used to get stuck quite a lot outside of like Sector X and whatnot. Like when I was a wee lad, this was the furthest I got in the game up until I actually picked up the Virtual Console release way many moons down the line. Like pretty much a decade down the line. Jesus Christ. Took me a long time to finish this game, didn't it? Hoi. But yeah, basically, yeah, I like this stage, but at the same time I don't. That's mainly what I'm getting at. It's a love-hate relationship. And honestly, I think I don't know, I'm not too fond of the Landmaster itself. Like, I love the idea behind it. I mean, it's a motherfucking tank. How can someone not like it? But in terms of this type of level design, it doesn't really work as smoothly as I would, you know, I would hope. Like, if it was up to me personally, I would have gone with I'm trying to think. Maybe like an open level for the tanks or something, you know? Something like you see in Star Fox 2, but I don't know. Anyway, with that, we are now moving up to the end of the stage itself, and now it's time to free Slippy, who got his ass handed to him in the previous part if you failed that mission.
I knew you'd come help me.
And by previous mission, I mean Sector X. Anyway, this boss fight by here is quite possibly the hardest boss in the entire game, so be careful. This will give you a lot of trouble if you don't know what you're doing. And what you need to do when you're fighting this... I think the only way I can really describe it is a monstrosity. But the only way you can destroy this monstrosity is to destroy all of its arms. Target all of its arms first. Use all of your bombs to nuke it as much as possible. Eventually you'll free Slippy, which will make things a little bit easier. And once you've destroyed all of the boss's arms, just aim for his heart. Once his heart goes down, that is the boss done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. I made it look easy, but trust me, this is the hardest boss in the whole game. I always almost have trouble with this boss. It's not fun. Not fun at all. Hoi.
All aircraft report.
I thought I was a goner.
We're always saving your hide, Slip. I'm sure he's learned his lesson. When we get back, we'll head to Venom.
Fox, you kind of get slipped up. Okay, because Slippy's there. Yeah, sorry. But you kind of slipped up there because we're not heading to Venom just yet because of my editing prowess. Like, normally this is when we'd head off pretty much almost to the penultimate stage, but we do have quite a bit to go now. For example, the next mission we are heading to is actually Macbeth. And no, I'm not talking about the Shakespearean play. I'm talking about Macbeth the planet, which is one of Andross's fine bases and yet another Landmaster level. Oh boy!
So you're going to attack the enemy base? Great idea, Fox.
It'll be a piece of cake, General.
Good luck.
And there we go, welcome to Macbeth, to be or not to be. Well, this mission is actually my favourite of the Landmaster missions, which isn't saying much because there's only 2 Landmaster missions in the game. But throughout the course of this entire mission, we're going to be following this train all the way up to the end. And one of the things you're going to want to be looking out for when you reach basically a certain point is these switches. And this is one of the more finicky missions to accomplish, because to destroy the enemy base, we do need to look for a number of switches that are littered and hidden. Very sneakily hidden along the track and destroy, well, not destroy them, but shoot them. I am going to be showing off the switches, and so if you want to figure out where to find them, just follow my guide, but, well, at least this LP anyway. I wouldn't really call it much of a guide if I don't know enough about the game to say, oh, I'm sort of rambling, you know. But yeah, basically this mission, to accomplish, it can be annoying, but, you know, it's a fairly fun one, and it's definitely a better Landmaster mission than bloody Titania. Hoi. I'm really not fond of that stage. And plus, this stage makes me feel awfully nostalgic, because the overcast weather and just the general bleakness of it reminds me of British weather. I don't know. Like, honestly, the weather in this country can be potentially annoying, I'll tell you that much. But the big thing you're going to be watching out for whenever you're going through the stage, apart from the train shooting things at you, are boulders. The boulders will be coming up from the mountainsides next to the trains, and the train will also be tipping over boulders and whatnot as well to get in your way. Why would I hover over that? I can destroy the boulder quicker. I mean, I have to hover to get this sorting thing, and the controls when you are hovering in the Landmaster, they're a little bit sluggish. Like, moving in the sky is a little bit slow, and generally, in terms of maneuverability, the Landmaster doesn't have much. You know, like, the most maneuverability you have is the dodge roll, sort of barrel roll thingy-majos-it. And that's basically the most maneuverability you have using this thing. But the benefit is that you can still use the boost, you can still use the brake that the R-Wings use, which is definitely pretty damn dope. But damn straight you should be thankful, Falco. I just saved your hide. I just saved your feathery ass. Your feathery ass. Hui. But yeah, again, this is just a much easier stage to Titania, and it's one I enjoy a hell of a lot more just because outside of it not only being easier, the geometry is a lot more flat, it's a lot more straightforward. You don't have to worry about going over hills, you don't have to worry about bombs being littered everywhere. It's just all around a nice, relaxing? Is that the word? Relax? I'm gonna go with relaxing. It's a relaxing-ish time. You know, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, delicious explosions. I always do love a game that gives me a good explosion, I'll be honest, ladies and gentlemen. One thing I haven't actually mentioned about the checkpoints as well, whenever you come across the checkpoints, is basically they will refill half of your health whenever you actually go through them. So if you're low in health and you see a checkpoint, that can potentially be a saving grace. What can I tell you? But it's around this point in the mission where you are going to need to start looking out for all of the switches, because the switches, well, this is where you need to look for them in order to clear the mission. And if you don't go for the switches, you do have to try and take out the boss fight in a traditional way, which means shooting at the boss. But if you were able to get all of the switches flicked, then you don't actually even need to fight the boss at all. You can just sort of ignore the boss and Bob will be your uncle, you know, ladies and gentlemen. But I believe there are 8 switches in total, and you need to keep an eye out on both the left and right side of the train in order to bip them. And trust me, it's really, really, really easy to miss the switches. So just keep an eye out, swerve to the left and right of the tracks as much as possible if you can. And that's mainly my way of getting through this. And at this point as well, you can take it on the boss traditionally, but bear in mind, if you fight the boss and beat him the normal way, even if you beat him before you get to the end of the switches, then you will only get the standard ending of the mission, and you will go down to the easier route. You will not be in the harder route, you know, ladies and gentlemen. So you're gonna want to take out the switches if you want to go to the hard route, basically. But once you've taken out all the switches, there's one last mega switch to hit right at the end, and he's going to do everything in his damnedest power to stop you. But with that, that is it. Bada bing, bada boom. Victory is ours.
No! Get the brake! Okay, stop it! All aircraft report.
I can see the look on their stupid faces.
I'm sure we heard him this time. Now it's our turn to kick some tail.
And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. With that, that is it for this part, because we have now basically cripple the enemy defenses, we are now heading on to the final assault on Venom. So let's go, and I'll meet you all in the penultimate part. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people, and I'll see you all then. Bye!